When one of the major players in the AI video market gets into the audio game, yeah, I'm going to pay attention. Welcome back to the channel where we discuss the creative uses of AI. And the other day when I was making my latest video on Minimax and its latest updates, I noticed this little audio link up here at the top of their page. And so I followed through and I looked at it and I said, oh, I see, they've kind of got a text-to-speech thing going here. And I played with it. And I wrote back to them and I said, can I make a video on this? And here I'm doing it. I just want to show you what they're doing with it and the current state of the technology and show you some of the differences between this and, of course, what everyone's going to compare it to, ElevenLabs. In terms of how to use it, it's basically just like every other text-to-speech thing you've ever seen. There's a place to enter your text here. You can choose your voices here. You've got several categories, languages, and just know ahead of time that the library is not nearly as vast as ElevenLabs is, and this doesn't have as many features as ElevenLabs does. But it also has some features that ElevenLabs doesn't, so we're going to take a look at those. But there is a healthy collection of voices here, and I'm going to ask you to get your headphones on today because when we start listening to the quality of these things, and especially between the different models they have, you're going to hear subtle differences better if you have headphones on. So I'll just preview a few of these so you can get an idea of what they sound like.
Remember, life will test you, but it will never break you if you hold on to what you know to.
Hello. I'm delighted to assist you with our voice services.
I'm not asking for the world, just a little effort.
I believe that hard work and honesty are the cornerstones of success.
Let me share with you what I've learned over the years. My experience has taught me
They're all very high quality voices and they all have a very good conversational tone. So let's play with a few of them. I found that a lot of these voices are great for storytelling and narration. So I went over to chat and had it write a story, and this is just a couple of lines from that story. We're going to use the Calm Woman, and you're going to notice that there are two models to choose from. They have a turbo model and their new model. So let's start with the turbo model and let's see what kind of result we get without doing anything to any of these voice modifiers or any of these settings over here. We're going to click on generate and we'll just wait just a few seconds and see how long it takes.
One stormy night, a traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door. Caroline welcomed him warmly, offering food and a place to rest. The daughters greeted him too, their golden hair gleaming in the dim light, their voices soft and melodic as they asked him questions. Too many questions.
Okay, so that's pretty great interpretation of a fiction story there. And that was the turbo model. That wasn't even what they call their best or newest model. So let's choose that model now and let's see what we get when we regenerate speech with that and see if you can tell a difference.
One stormy night, a traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door. Caroline welcomed him warmly, offering food and a place to rest. The daughters greeted him too, their golden hair gleaming in the dim light, their voices soft and melodic as they asked him questions. Too many questions.
Okay, so there were parts of both of them that I really like. This one has maybe a little bit more punch to it. Let's take a look at some of these settings. We'll get to the voice modifiers in a second. Right off the bat, we have a drop down of emotions. So we can choose for all the voices, not just some, happy, sad, angry, fearful, disgusted, surprised, or neutral. So let's take what sounded kind of like a very urgent read that she just had and let's make it happy and see what happens.
One stormy night, a traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door. Caroline welcomed him warmly, offering food and a place to rest. The daughters greeted him too, their golden hair gleaming in the dim light.
Actually, still sounds pretty urgent to me. Let's look at some of these voice modifiers. We have deepen and lighten. We have stronger and softer and nasal and crisp. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the difference is between lighten and darken, but generally speaking, I'm finding that some of these voices are a little flat. And so I thought, well, if I lighten it, maybe that'll help. And maybe if I made it a little stronger and made it a little crisper. We also have options for adjusting sound quality like echo and auditorium and things like that. One of the things you need to know is that when you make changes to these settings here, you need to click the apply button or they won't apply. Whereas with the emotions, you can just make the drop down box and it'll take that change and reflect it the next time you generate. So let's try this again with this woman and then we're going to try a different voice.
One stormy night, a traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door. Caroline welcomed him warmly, offering food and a place to rest.
Now, right away, you're going to see one of the weaknesses with this current system. While we can do voice modification with these sliders, anytime you do, it makes it sound very compressed and digital. So again, listen real quick to this.
Traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door.
Again, headphones will help, but you'll notice that it's edgy and weird and just doesn't sound good. But if I click reset here, and it resets all of these values, and then regenerate speech again.
One stormy night, a traveling merchant seeking shelter knocked on their door.
We get the quality back, but we lose all the different changes that we've made. So there's definitely at this point a trade-off. Let's paste in a different paragraph and grab a different voice.
We need to approach this situation with both wisdom and understanding.
Let's try that one. Mature partner. and generate speech.
The merchant bolted for the door, but Sophie appeared before him, faster than should have been possible. "Stay," she whispered, her golden hair shimmering as if lit from within. The walls seemed to close in, the symbols glowing faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat.
Now, I realized I still had the emotion set to happy. I wouldn't say that it sounded happy, but I'd like to hear what it sounds like if I choose auto. You'll notice that when he said stay, she whispered. He actually did whisper. So this time I'm going to put the emotion to auto, and just for fun, I'm going to change to the turbo model so we can demonstrate as many things here in just a few minutes.
The merchant bolted for the door, but Sophie appeared before him, faster than should have been possible. "Stay," she whispered, her golden hair shimmering as if lit from within. The walls seemed to close in, the symbols glowing faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat.
Nice, right? In addition to all the voices that they give you, you can also clone your own voices. Looks like you can do 3. So I did 3 different approaches. First of all, there's just me.
Hello. I'm delighted to assist you with our voice services.
For all of these, I sent up a 5-minute sample. You can send up as short a sample as 30 seconds, but I definitely found that if I send up a high-quality sample for about 5 minutes of me talking with a whole range of dynamics and emotion and pacing and all of that, that the model will pick it up, and it sounds a lot more natural than it does when you just play this little sample.
Choose a voice.
That was just me reading regularly, and then I also did one where I talk like this, because I want to see if the accent of the dialect would get transferred in there. So I did a really exaggerated read, and I get something like this. Hello, I'm delighted to assist you with our voice services. Choose a voice that resonates with you, and let's begin our creative audio journey together. So it's in there a little bit. Then I grabbed a sample of Tracy.
Hello, I'm delighted to assist you with our voice services.
So as I say, the voices kind of just sound flat, but to be fair, when Tracy recorded that, it was part of a 20-minute long thing, and maybe there wasn't a lot of dynamics in there, but that's where we have the adjustments here. So let's use the Tracy voice. We'll give her something to say. I'm going to click Reset Value just to make sure that any changes we made anywhere are reset to default so we can get a clear idea of what's going on here. I'll go ahead and use their newest model and click Generate Speech.
Now, I know after a long day, the last thing anyone wants to do is stand at the sink, but if we all just take a few minutes to wash our dishes right after dinner, it will make things so much easier for everyone.
Okay, so that is really, really flat. There's no life to it whatsoever. Let's try to add something like disgusted. It's not exactly the emotion that's appropriate for this, but I'm going to see what it does to the speech.
Now, I know after a long day, the last thing anyone wants to do is stand at the sink. But if we all just take a few minutes to wash our dishes right after dinner, it will make things so much easier for everyone.
You may have also noticed that it has this little instruction here that if you'd like to insert a pause, you can just type this in here right there and it will put the pause with whatever duration you give it. So we did get some variance there with the disgusted. We can also change the speed so she talks faster. You see we got very fine tuning there into the decimals. So if I pop it up to 1.25, for example, and maybe even pop the pitch up 1, it's going to be a significant difference. It won't sound exactly like her, but you'll see what I'm talking about. You can also adjust the volume. And of course, you have access to all of these voice modifiers. And as I'll show you again, it kind of makes a negative impact on the quality if we use that. So here it is without that.
Now, I know after a long day, the last thing anyone wants to do is stand at the sink, but...
So the pitch is raised up a little bit and it's obviously faster. Just to demonstrate it, I'll go ahead and click on this auditorium echo. I'll lighten it up a little bit. Again, I'll make it stronger and what the heck, I'll just make it nasal. I don't know why, but let's see what we get then. So remember to click apply. So now the voice modifications will take, and let's regenerate that and see what we get.
Now, I know after a long day, the last thing anyone wants to do is stand.
All right, so already we know that's no good. It sounds like she's coming through a megaphone, and that was not one of the effects. That's coming from the compression that happens when we use any of these voice modifiers. So let's reset all that stuff. Let's just use my regular model. So I'm just having chat write me a 15-second ad for a car made out of banana peels. Let's just copy that script there, paste it in here. Need to make sure my values are all reset so the speed and the pitch will be correct, and we'll see what we get there.
Introducing the Banana Mobile, the world's first eco-friendly car made entirely of banana peels.
So that's a little low for me, and it's a little low energy, and it sounds flat again. Let's take the surprised emotion and maybe up the speed just a little bit, and I won't change anything else and see how that changes it.
Introducing the Banana Mobile, the world's first eco-friendly car made entirely of...
Again, see, I put the hyphen here, and I need to change that to a period because the hyphens don't work. And I just noticed this emoji in there, and I'm sure I don't need that. So let's generate this again.
Introducing the Banana Mobile, the world's first eco-friendly car made entirely of banana peels. Glide down the road with a smooth potassium...
So I'm in there, but it's not nearly as accurate as ElevenLabs. I found that with the voice modification, if I do that whole lighten, stronger, crisp thing, it does improve the read, but we get that compression. Let me apply that and let's listen.
Introducing the Banana Mobile, the world's first eco-friendly car made entirely of banana peel.
So that's not really usable. Just for fun, let's reset the values again. Let's go back to the turbo model because it did a pretty good job before. Let's just get its take on this.
Introducing the Banana Mobile, the world's first eco-friendly car made entirely of banana peels. Glide down the road with a smooth, potassium-powered ride and leave nothing behind but a fresh scent of sustainability. Lightweight, biodegradable, and totally appealing. Ready to slip into the future?
That's better. That turbo model did better at capturing me and my pacing and everything. So if you're going to go play with this, play with everything. My final test for all of these voice cloning things is to see how well it will transfer a dialect. So as I said, I talked like this for a while, so let's use him. And further, I went to chat and I said to write a paragraph that someone from the Deep South might say while giving directions to a filling station. Write the words as best you can phonetically so that the reader will sound like they have a southern drawl if they read it like you wrote it. So they gave me this, which we'll plug in here. We will choose Elmer Bucket. We won't change anything. We will go with the newest model and generate speech.
Well, now, let me tell you how to get there. You're going to head on down this here road about a mile till you see old Johnson's barn. You can't miss it. It's that big red one with the roof caved in a bit. Then you're going to want to take yourself a right at the stop sign, but don't go too far or you'll end up down at the creek and Lord.
So it definitely got the dialect. Did a pretty good job, in fact. I was very impressed with that. The quality of the audio still doesn't sound as good as their stock voices. Again, not sure why. I uploaded a very good quality audio and I tested it there, so not sure what the factor is there. Just in case you're thinking, Bob, if you give any voice these phonetically spelled words, it's going to sound Southern. Well, I thought that might be true too, but let's just test that theory real quick. Let's go over here to Tracy.
Hello, I'm delighted to assist you with our...
Keep all the text the same and we'll generate that speech and see what we get.
Well, now, let me tell you how to get there. You're going to head on down this here road about a mile till you see old Johnson's barn. You can't miss it.
Can't miss it. So it sounds like that because it says can't, but the rest of it just sounds like her typical voice without any sort of a southern drawl at all. Let's try it with one of their stock voices. Let's use this voice, Jovial Man.
Life is too short not to smile and enjoy every moment.
So there's no southern drawl in there at all. So let's generate that and see what we get.
Well, now, let me tell you how to get there. You're gonna head on down this here road about a mile till you see old Johnson's barn. You can't miss it. It's that...
It sounds like someone trying to do a southern accent. Let's use Elmer one more time, use that turbo model just to see what it does.
Well, now, let me tell you how to get there. You're going to head on down this here road about a mile till you see old Johnson's barn. You can't miss it. It's that big red one with the roof caved in a bit. Then you're going to want to take yourself a right at the stop sign, but don't go too far or you'll end up down at the creek.
Again, the turbo model does a good job, and having a bass voice that was trained on that dialect absolutely makes a difference. I just want to show you one last voice before we go, because it was just so interesting to me, and I thought the possibilities for enterprising young content creators is definitely there to consider. One of their stock voices is Whispering Girl. Let's listen.
Today, let's relax.
I don't know if everybody watching this knows what ASMR is, but if you do, this voice is perfectly suited for it. So I went over to chat again and I told it to do a bit of research about ASMR and what makes a good ASMR script and to write something like that. So they gave me this script here, which I plugged in right here, and it gave me this.
Hello there. I am so glad you've joined me today. Let's take a moment, unwind together. Imagine you are in a cozy cabin, nestled deep within a tranquil forest. A gentle rain taps on the wooden roof, each drop creating a soothing melody.
I just wanted to give you a little peek at what they're doing over here at Hailuo in the audio department. Obviously, the Minimax model is among the best out there, and they're always making improvements to that, and it is definitely one that others are compared to. Right now, people will definitely compare this to ElevenLabs and probably say it's not as good. But with all things AI, we just have to give things time. Who knows, this may go nowhere, or it may be another powerhouse. I just wanted to let you know it was there. If these are the types of things you like to learn about, well, why not subscribe to the channel? Because these are the types of topics we cover all the time.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I